Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we're joined by a very special guest, retired professional athlete, professional hockey goaltender in the FPHL with the Elmira River Sharks last year, and his name is Joe Ackley. Joe played 3 years of NCAA Division three college hockey, 2 years with Aurora University and NCAA D3, 1 year ACHA D2 with Aurora University, and then ACHA D2 with Trine University in his last year before making the jump to pro. And before that, he played in the USPHL Premier and the NA3HL with the Worcester Oilers. So I'm really excited to get you on the show and jump on into your journey and what it was like to play or go throughout your career. So really excited to get you on. So welcome to the show, Joe Ackley.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Get looking forward to just having a little chat.
Yeah, of course. I've been wanting to get you on for a while now. I've been wanting to get on as many of like the group we had from the bingo free agent camp on. So
Yeah.
like I'm glad to get that going and get you on to be one of the first guests of that group. But you're from Pickerington, Ohio. So like what was it like growing up in Ohio?
Oh, I mean, that's all I know in terms of growing up, but it was cool. Like, as Pickering's a suburb, like 20 minutes outside Columbus. So I always had stuff to do in terms of just this normal city life. And then you're talking like sports, you got Ohio State football, which is insanely huge over here. And then Blue Jackets, go to as many games as possible growing up. So I say I had no complaints. The only stinks is hockey's growing in like Columbus for sure, but still not quite where it is like say cities in Michigan, like Minnesota, like New York. So they got some work to do, but it's coming up. But like my high school, we didn't have like a varsity high school team. So like, and some schools in Columbus do. So it's like kind of like 50-50 mix of like high schools that have their own school team, and there's high schools that don't have enough kids that play to play for like their own team, but they have like what they call them like club high school, which just has like it's like my high school. We had two sub high schools, and then a couple of other high schools within like 10 miles or so. So we all kind of formed a team, and so we had about a 7 or 8 team league. And sometimes we would intermix with like the sanctioned high school teams. So it would be kind of fun to like compare yourselves because it's one of those things. It's like the sanctioned teams think that they're way better than the club teams, but really you're all varsity high school players, so it's no different. But well, the benefit of that was like we got to play so many more games. Like OSHA high school rules, I don't think you can play more than like 25. We were playing like 60. So we were going traveling tournaments all season. We were going from like August through April. So I kind of like that. It was almost like a AAA schedule without playing AAA. So uh, that was the positive of playing high school hockey there, though. I will say, just lots of ice time. But
Yeah.
yeah, Ohio's Ohio. Nothing bad to say about it. It's cooler places out there, but I like it.
Yeah, that's good that you guys had like a bigger schedule compared to most, like going from 25 to 60-ish games. Like it's good for your development. So like what did you see like happen over the course of your high school career to help yourself like develop as a goaltender?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, kind of coming from like high school where like you're kind of like a big fish in a small pond kind of thing. So like kind of help you get that confidence. Like even though obviously there's some better goalies out there, like nationally, it's kind of helped my confidence being like top in my league and then develop myself there, working on some fine-tuned skills. And then eventually when I got going with like junior tryouts and stuff, being able to like compare myself, see what I need to work on, spend all like the next year, like freshman to sophomore year after going to camps, figuring out what I got to work on. And then coming back, having a good season, fine tuning more things after the next camps, keep going back. And that's kind of just how I forced myself to get better. I had some good goalie coaches too. I got a good, really, really good high school coach that just he single-handedly forced our team from being, I think before I came, when I was in 8th grade, think they had 4 wins on the year. And then by the time that my class was juniors, we had went to the state final, lost in the state final, but hell of a turnaround. And it was everybody, but that coach severely turned things around for the team
Yeah, and
and
like you
myself.
not only yeah, and you not only see like the improvement of like your high school team, but like you've seen the improvement from like when you first started in Columbus to where it's at now. It's like what was that like from like when you first started, like where Columbus hockey is at right now, like what would have been some of the changes and like how it's improved?
Yeah. But I will say, like, I don't think I ever had an actual like goalie coach that came out to my practices until I was in high school. Like growing up it was all single A hockey, maybe a goalie camp here or there. But like we finally had Dave Caruso. He played at Ohio State, played for uh, Trenton in the ECHL. But he's a Columbus native, so he came back and he's been working, or actually back then was still living here and working with all the goalies. But he was great. He would always come out, give his tips, give his insight. Like I said, I didn't have that until high school. So like nowadays, I think every high school team around here has some sort of goalie coach, whether it be just a guy that used to play for the like varsity team that now retired but lives around, whether it's someone that went to college, someone that's an actual like hired coach. It's just a whole realm of things. But like I feel like every team now has one, which is awesome for development, but just things that weren't in place really until I'd say the past 5 or 10 years to be like a staple to have like goalie coaches just assigned to every team.
Yeah, now you have like a resource to help yourself develop, and so it's good for the game, good for Columbus hockey, and
Yeah,
like it's definitely help grows people's games, and it's like you only see improvement with that, and like it helps with the development period and makes it faster to develop
yeah,
yourself, especially when you have a goalie coach.
for sure. Yeah, no doubt. That's kind of cool now. It's kind of like full circle. Like now I'm going out to help some teams and some younger guys. So now I'm kind of like it's like I said, all this comes full circle, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, like what's it like going back and helping and just like helping the goalies out? Like since you didn't have that when you were younger, now younger guys have you to back off of from like your experiences.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like it. It's kind of I look at it when I go to coach some guys, and I kind of look at it. I'm like, I just like look at them, and I'm like, I kind of compare. Like I was probably in their same shoes. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at them, and I'm like, okay, got some work here to do. Got a lot of work here to do if they want to achieve their goals. And I'm like, I guarantee you, I was the same way. I'm sure I had goalie coaches like looking at me like this guy's got some work to do. But that's kind of where I try to take some of that knowledge that I kind of gained from them to like fine tune little things that you don't really notice or won't pick up on until like someone points it out to you. So being able to kind of be that person for some goalies has been cool. Like I said, just started kind of getting into it, so I haven't really seen any goalies like take off with it yet, but sooner than later, hopefully we'll see some guys keep advancing.
Yeah, and it's also good to have like the other different resources like YouTube, stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
Like you have NHL games to watch, you have like pro games that you could watch and throw on, watch the goalies, and you'd always take something from what you see in those games, what you see from YouTube, and apply it to your own game and like trial and error and see what works and see what doesn't work in practice.
yeah. No, that's I did the same thing. Like I was fortunate enough to be able to, as I was nearing like junior high school age. That was prime time when Bob was with the Blue Jackets. So being able to watch
Yeah.
that guy play 60, 70 games out of the year just on TV, like you just pick up some things. And I know there were some things that I started, like just simple things like recovering back on like your off foot instead of like always doing your dominant or outside foot, like pick yourself up with your non-dominant foot sometimes, just little things here and there, just kind of picked up on it. I see it. I'm like, that looks interesting. Let me try it. Then go work on it. Suck at first, but keep on going at it and figure some things out. So that was kind of cool. I'm future Hall of Famer. Can't really complain about watching that guy play.
Yeah, you just keep building and keep learning from guys like that, and your game will improve, and like you just keep just with practice, like you're gonna improve no matter what you do. If you keep with the
100%.
small habits, the good habits, small details, like your game will improve dramatically if you just keep being consistent with it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but who were some of your favorite goalies to watch when you're younger? Like you just said, Bob, and you watched Bob, and when he was with Columbus. So, like, do you have any other goalies that you looked at when you're growing up?
Yeah, I remember I was super young. I was a big fan of like Turco, like
Yeah,
Kiprusoff. But then once I started being that age of like I was an actual goalie, I was the biggest Fleury fan you ever like freaking see in your life. Like I would always buy the same pads as him. Curves was always Fleury curve, even though it sucked. Damn heel wedge all curve, but I had it because why not? But I know I watched him and I like I said when I first started, that's all I wanted to be was just play like him. So like uh, he taught me how to windmill, that's for sure.
what better two goalies to watch than Bob and Fleury? Like
Right.
Hall of Famers, and like
Two future
they're the
Hummers.
best at their jobs. They're yeah,
Yeah.
future Hall of Famers are the best at their jobs, and they just have fun with it. And you can see when they're having fun, they're winning games.
Yeah, for sure. That's like cool too, because like I feel like they'd have like they're similar goalies. Like they're both, I'd say they're both like butterfly, but they have very different ways about going about it.
Yeah.
Like Bob's just so skating reliant, calm, cool, collected. At least when he's playing well, that's how he's playing. But Fleury's very like he can play the same way. He's just he'll battle. Like
Yeah.
he will find some way to get a puck stop, whether he's lunging with his neck, like in the cup final or whatever. It's just kind of cool to like, take both those styles, merge it into one, try to model my game after that.
Yeah. Did you see like did you see Bob's like pregame routine for in morning skate and like game seven? Like it was all over like Instagram, TikTok, all that, where
Oh
it's
yeah,
just like he was just super technically like just it was like a flow state when he was skating, and like you could see like from those videos that he was dialed, and there was no way that Florida was going to win the cup after that.
yeah. Oh, it's so impressive watching that guy warm up. I know when I would go to Jackets games and watch him warm up, I would record it just because I'm like, it's so mesmerizing. One, I'm like, this is a bag skate for any other goalie out there.
Yeah.
Like he's just went up so, I mean, he's just so sharp, doing everything so perfect, so clean. Just attention to details like crazy. So no, it's so cool to watch him warm up. And like you said, it's so routine. It's the same thing every game. Never changes.
Yeah, and that's where the consistency comes. And once you're consistent, like that's where your game excels and takes off, because you're doing everything every single day, and it's just gonna become habit after you do it a couple times, a couple weeks, and then it just becomes part of your routine then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what has been some of like your routines throughout your career, especially like as you got older and ended up playing in the Fed for a little bit? Like what have been some of your routines?
I'm a really big stretch guy. I got to get a good, calm, quiet stretch in before like practice, games, anything. Just either toss some headphones in or like I wouldn't say I was like the most routine oriented goalie. Like I would go some games I would go headphones, some games I wouldn't. Just on it all depend like what I need, what I felt like I needed to do in the moment. But like always just wanted to get stretch in, do my routine, almost like a yoga in a way, like 10, 15 minutes. Um, always big sewer guy. Not the best, but love it. Love the camaraderie. Just love getting loose before just kind of get the mind off the game ahead and just let loose. Just kick the ball around, sewer somebody here and there. Nut shot now and then, just I don't know. But
You have to sewer guys like that. That's part of
yeah,
the game. If you're not doing it, like you're doing
yeah,
something wrong.
exactly.
Yeah, but it gets the mind off the game, and like you're just having fun and you're relaxed. Like after you stretch, go play sewer. Like you're
Yeah.
dialed from there, and you're able to just go in and just go in there and be relaxed and do your thing.
Yeah, that's where like that was a big switch for me just from like that's the one negative of like not playing like AAA. I feel like in just playing high school, like I was so used to just get a rink, 60 to 45 minutes prior, tossing my shit on and getting out there and playing. Go to juniors, go to college, go pro. You're at the rink 3 hours prior to the game. So like obviously I've learned, like I said, I learned like a routine to get myself and get my mind right. But still it's just this transition of like you just for me it's like almost too much time of like too much thinking.
Yeah.
So it was anything I could do to just not think about the game and just have fun out there, just have fun with the fellas, talk, chat, stay loose, and then
Keep it loose. Yeah, keep it loose.
and just lock it in hour prior to the game and get all ready and
Yeah, that's Axe keys to success right there. Just lock it in an hour before and just chill and relax until then.
just stress free as possible. It's just a game.
Exactly. But after your high school years, you went on to play junior hockey in the NA3 and then the USPHL. So like with the Worcester Oilers, like what was getting into junior hockey like, and like where did you find Worcester? Did or like how did that come up?
Yeah, when I was a freshman, after my freshman season, I had a really good season. Um, I just fired off an email. I was just doing research. So I was like, okay, I was talking to like my family. I'm like, okay, I want to play college hockey. I know I just played high school, so like I got to find somewhere to start. So I emailed that head coach, just myself, just was like, hey, here's my stats. Here's like where I want to go with hockey. Um, Basically just saying would love a chance to come out. I think I was asking about just coming to like the pre-draft camp or whatever, like something so simple. Um, just emailed them and they asked me out. Went to pre-draft as a 15-year-old. Um, for all things considering, I thought I did pretty well. They thought I did pretty well. They brought me back to Maine. They basically actually offered me a spot on that team for my sophomore year. Said, hey, like obviously you may not play a whole lot right now, but if you want to like achieve these goals, like we think it's best to just come here now. Um, Obviously you can go a different route if you want, but like the earlier that you start, the better in terms of like conditioning, just like we were talking, routine. That's like professionalism.
Yeah.
Uh, I obviously talked over with like the fam. Wasn't quite the right time yet. I mean, like I said, I was still 15 years old, so couldn't even drive yet. Probably not the best time. I mean, some guys do it. Kudos to them. But that is what I mean. My family, no one in my family grew up playing junior hockey. Like my dad played, but high school and called it quits. So we didn't really have a whole lot of experience going into that. So it was kind of a guinea pig. So just went back to high school, had a rougher season than last, uh, but kept the same run up of going to those tryouts. Uh, Got asked to Odessa's tryout camp that next summer. Obviously didn't make it. I mean, I had no chance. It's coming from Ohio high school to NA, but it was a really good experience. I had a hell of a time. Had some great highlight videos that came out of it, and then went back for my junior year, like I said, and uh, went to the state final. Lost, but had a really good season. Team did, but personally, I had a really good season too. And then from there, ended up working it out with my high school where I graduated after my junior year. Just I had all my credits. I had college shit going already, so that made the transition to go to Worcester then the following year really easy for my family and me. Like no high school to worry about. Obviously, I'm 17 then, can drive a little more responsible. And that team was, I mean, I'd say what you want about tier three junior, but for a tier three junior team, that team was regimented. Like we weren't the best, but we weren't. I mean, we were over 500, or at least right around 500. I forget, but like we had strict routines. We had really good owners that cared about giving us the best treatment possible. Like we got, I've heard horror stories about tier three teams and USP NA3. Um, we were nothing like it. People came to our team from other teams and they're like, "Holy shit, where's this been?" And we're just like, "I don't know, we're here." So unfortunately, even though we were treated so well, we didn't have the best team ever, but we had some good guys. Um, so was there. We were in the NA3 my first year and USP my second year. Um, but yeah, I mean, but between those two leagues, they're the same. NA3, USP,
Yeah.
same shit. But so that's kind of how I got there. And like year one, mostly just developing. Like I said, I probably could have expedited that had I gone sooner, but just didn't feel like it was right. And it probably was for the best that I didn't go that early. Like I said, I feel like I've seen teammates and other guys that have started at 15 and they almost just get kind of stuck in that tier three from 15 to 21. And one that's like paying 50K to 60K over the course of 4 to 5 years to
Yeah.
play hockey, as opposed to a couple.
It
And
adds
then
up.
two, I was like, if I'm gonna go anywhere with it, I think 2 years to get myself ready is if
Yeah.
I can't do it in 2 years, it's just not for me. I must not be doing something right. But no, I feel like I saw a lot of improvement between my first and second year. I played triple, if not quadruple the games I played my first year, my second year. So much better year personally too. So it was good experience in Worcester. I liked it. Like I said, I feel like a lot of times juniors can be a shit show, but we had a really good time.
Yeah. It's like what do you learn going from that first year to like where you're a rookie, you don't know what really to expect. And then you go into that second year where you go jump from having a couple games and then you jump to like 14, 15 games, whatever it is. And it's like what were some of the things you learned throughout those first 2 years to really help you mature and develop as a goalie?
Yeah, it was just kind of putting all the pieces together. Like I had all the pieces. I kind of feel like just putting
Yeah.
it all together at a high speed for 7 days a week. Like I said, Ohio high school, great because you get games, but like we're on the ice 3 times a week plus a game or two. So whereas like you go to juniors, we're on the ice Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're like there's really no rest period, and if it is a rest period, it's one day when you don't move off the couch. So basically, that was a big learning curve, just learning how to play tired and exhausted because like I wasn't ever used to that. One of those things too, where it's like AAA prepares you for that,
Yeah.
but in the end, if you put the work in, eventually you're gonna catch yourself up and with us, that's kind of what I saw after like year one. Like I caught myself up to everyone else, and from there kind of ran with it.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of like a pro schedule too, with being on the ice Monday through Friday, and then game Saturday, Sunday. You have like one day off, so like you're getting used to like that pro lifestyle and going into college too, and you're just able to manage your time more and make manage your time more effectively
Oh yeah,
for recovery and stuff like that. And then you add schoolwork in a college, so you're able to just manage all that as a
yeah,
as a
oh
pro.
yeah, yeah. No, it was a big wake up call. It was cool, but I remember I think it was like first time on the ice. It's like I think school had started back home. My class was all seniors, and they're at school, and I'm like, it's 10 a.m. and I'm on the freaking ice. I was like, this is
Yeah.
unbelievable, unbelievable.
Can't
This is
can't beat
awesome.
it.
Yeah. So like, obviously, you're nowhere near a pro, but you feel like it. But that was cool.
Yeah, for sure. And like you're just having the time of your life. Like junior hockey is fun, and then you go commit to Aurora University for college. Like how did that come up from playing from in Worcester to eventually going into Illinois for Aurora University?
Yeah. Yeah. That was a crazy tournament because I was like, because I had one more year to age out of junior still, so I was looking at teams. I had some feelers out there. Had a couple camps I was at like some NA All-Star camps. Fell through there. Ended up going to the SIJ, SIJ, for Thief River. I saw or their one, their assistant coach found me at just like one of those, I don't know, junior level showcase type things during the summer that you go to. I was like, hey, we like you. Let's come to camp or let's come to the tryout camp, whatever. So I go, had a really good camp, went to the All-Star game, had a shutout. So I get invited to training camp with the goalies. So before going in, I think I was the oldest, or at least I think I was the oldest, and also had the most like junior experience going in. So I felt pretty good about it. And then like 2 weeks before training camp, assistant coach calls me, and he's like the only one I really talked to. I mean, I met the head coach at the camps, but um, most of my contact with the assistant. But 2 weeks prior to camp, assistant calls me and goes, "Hey, I hate to say this, but," and he's like, "I don't really know why, but head coach doesn't want you to come anymore." So I'm like, okay, fuck. Because I mean, it was so close to training camps for all these teams. Like everyone's got their rosters at least set for now. So
Yeah.
if I had nothing else, I'd just be sitting waiting. But luckily, yeah, I probably should have mentioned this prior, but like also at a different camp, um, actually earlier in the summer, I had an email from a college coach saying, "Hey, I'm putting together this Minnesota like showcase. It's like a tier 2 camp. We got NA teams, sending teams or prospect teams." He's like, "I want to put one together too." I kind of like blew the email off. And like a month prior, I like pulled it back up and it said Aurora University Division 3 hockey was like the email, like it was his signature, Coach Bloomy. And I was like, guess I should probably consider this, considering this is a D3 coach. I'm like, it's not for the D3 team, but he would see me.
Yeah.
So I reached out. He's like, yeah, man, would love to have you. We still need like one more goalie for this camp in Minnesota. So I just send my money, sign up and go. And it was really fun. Had a really good time. We had a good team. It was fun. Then met the coach, had some like one-on-ones. My dad and I were there and just met a couple times. He's like, hey, like obviously like, you're a 99 birth year. You got like one more year. Like, what's your plan? Where you're going? Told him where I was wanting to go in the SIJ. And he's like, oh, I got some contacts up in Saskatchewan. Like, let's get you there instead. So talked with some guys about that, some coaches, some agents. Uh, the whatever that didn't fall through. It was a case of like, hey, oh yeah, we got tryouts in a day. Get up here, and like I can't get a Saskatchewan flight in a day.
Yeah.
So there's like I was like, okay, well, unless you need a guy in a pinch, I'm out. Or like if you need me to come for like midweek or whatever. So it didn't work out,
Yeah.
whatever. So just going to Sidge in Thief River, and I said the coach called me and said, hey, you're not coming. So I called Bloomy at AU, and I'm like, what's next? So he's like, fuck. He's like, I got some other contacts. It's like probably not leagues you want, but we'll get you playing still. And then like a week prior to school starts, basically, he calls me and goes, "Hey, you want to come this year?" Because they had a goalie from Sweden committed. So I don't really know what happened. I don't know the story behind it, but basically last minute decided not to come to school. So they had two goalies, both were juniors, and then they needed a third. So he's like, "You want to come to school?" I'm like, much rather go to school and play D3 than tier 3 or just find some whatever team to play on. So 100%. So got all my shit done in a week, apply, got accepted, scholarship shit, all that. Got that squared away. I basically toured the school on my move-in day, which was a little that happened way too fast than anyone should ever like but just between trying to get all my shit packed up, stuff bought to live, like just regular school stuff, college stuff. Like I don't think I touched the ice for like 2 weeks prior to going, which was not good in hindsight. That was a big, big mistake. But like I had no other choice. Like I get shit done to
Yeah.
get money saved up and get all stuff ready. But yeah, I ended up going to AU. So I was a 19-year-old freshman on a team where the next youngest guy was 21. So a little a little small chicken there, but it was fun. I had a really good group of guys that I live with. But that's also a funny story because, like I said, I applied so late. I had like, and they don't let hockey. They didn't actually. Our school's cool where they don't let like hockey players stay in the dorms because we're all of age, and they don't want that on campus. So they
Yeah.
literally make us get our own house, which is awesome hindsight. But for me, it was like, okay, you're either going to be rooming with some random in a dorm, and all the houses for our team are full. So then it was like a scramble trying to find me a place. And there was a basketball transfer and like a track transfer that were also like last minute. So us all three like needed a house or an apartment, something. So like, but I go to school and coach was like, hey, just stay on this team's couch for a while. Like we'll get you set up with this apartment, but for now, like just need you just to be here. So I was on the house that I actually ended up moving into, I was on their couch for like the first 3 weeks of the school year, which is just quite the experience. Peel my face off the vinyl couch, everything, but it was awesome. Like I said, I had a really good house. They were super awesome, super welcoming. They were all mostly older guys, juniors, seniors, a couple sophomores. So, but apartment didn't work out. Both those transfers from track and basketball, they ended up dropping out like within the first month of school. So then I was SOL. But one of the guys in my house ended up deciding for his mental health, it was just better just to stop hockey and just go back home. So all kudos to him for making that decision. And luckily for me, he gave me a bed. So appreciate that from him. But yeah, I ended up getting a spot in that house, which was super cool. So all those guys became really good buddies. And obviously, like, Boyks in LA, awesome people.
Yeah.
And that's who I was
Yeah.
living with. So super great guys. And we had a great time.
Yeah. It just seems like a crazy, crazy week before you start, and then you go into sleeping on the couch for 3 weeks, and before getting
Yeah.
your own room, like can't make that shit up, and but it makes for some great stories at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. 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 100%. No
Yeah.
complaints.
Yeah, but you said you started out as a third string for your first 2 years, like you're behind Boyks. Like what do you learn from a guy like that? And then like what do you learn from being a third string and just trying to like work your way up the depth chart?
Yeah, no, I was like I said that was one of the best parts about being there for three years is just being able to skate on the same ice as Boyks and just learn from him, watch him play, battle with him across the ice. Just made it so fun going to practice like every day, basically knowing like, okay, like if you do like mini games or some shit, like going up against him, like, okay, if somehow I pull out a win out of this, I'm gonna feel pretty damn good
Yeah.
because that means that I somehow played good enough for my team to beat like going up against Josh and like shit. So it was just kind of like little like mental small games like that where it just like force you to be good in small situations like that. And like I said, almost going back to like juniors, like just going back to practice with like every shot's important in practice. I mean, some coaches don't like live by that, but I started to like live by that where like every shot is important, every shot has to be saved in practice. So I kind of took that mentality too to AU and tried to battle as hard as I could. Obviously, much different skill from going tier 3 to D3. So it was a little bit of an adjustment period, but I feel like I got definitely more comfortable towards second semester of my freshman year and sophomore, junior year, got super comfortable playing. It was really fun to have those battles with boys.
Yeah, and like just it brings out the best in you when you have guys that are like Boyks and guys shooting like LA, like guys like that, like and you're really like challenging yourself and like you're really like digging in, giving it everything you got and like having that mentality where every shot has to be saved and like you're playing every shot like it's a game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like you said, that's just the best way to get you better. Is just you spend most of your ice time in practice. So if you're only going out there just out for a rip, you're not going to get any better. So you might as well just put your head down, just like I'm saving every shot, or else I'm just yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna feel good about this, or just know, if I don't save every shot, my spot's on the line, or I'm not going to be dressing, not going to be playing, whatever it may be.
Yeah, exactly. But you did get to play in games in your junior years. Like, what was it like to go from like your first 2 years in developing and then actually get to see game action in your third year?
Yeah, it was cool. Like I said, it's one of those things that's like kind of like a mutual decision. Like, let some club games in because I just wanted to play at that point. But two is like we had committed a guy, a goalie, who was also my roommate, Tanner. Loved that guy. Uh, when we didn't know if Boyce was going to come back for his fifth year or not. So it was like we were either going to have like three or four, then we come in with four. It's like, someone's going to go. And I'm like, well, look at
Yeah.
the depth chart. We got three guys that play, whether it be BC or NA, and then there's me. So I'm like, I'm definitely the odd man out. So fuck it, let's just grind. So I don't know. I went in the preseason. I felt really good about myself. I was playing really well for like what I can say. I had teammates say the same thing, like, dude, you should be feeling good about yourself. So, but like I said, it's not always how it's supposed to go. So I'm just like, hey, let's get you some club games in. Obviously, if like we need you, we'll get you up. So I go down, uh, play my first club game, get hurt right away. So third period, sprain my MCL, out for about 8 weeks. So I pretty much come back at like semester, which sucked because I was like, okay, well, I basically went down to club to go play one damn game, and now here I am
Yeah.
sitting for the rest of the semester. So I'm like, that's not, but it was super cool too. The club guys were awesome. There were some really good buddies and friends that I made on that team too. So we had a really good time. And then, like I said, once I got back going to it late first semester, through second semester, we had a really good time, had a good run. Uh, Unfortunately, weren't able to go too far in terms of like the regional tournament or anything with it, but just a couple tiebreakers or whatever. But no, it was fun. And like you said, it's just nice to play games no matter where it's at. It's nice to play those games. And that was kind of my thought too. I was like, I know you can go play FPHL or SP, even if you play some club games, like it's not the end of the road. So I was like, you might as well get some game experience in rather than sit the bench for 3 straight years and then think that a team and the Fed's going to be like, oh yeah, you're a great pick because you sat 3 years straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so that was helpful. Honestly, just get my mind back in game mode. Um, and I was hoping to go after that year, then it didn't work out. And then I was my one buddy. I guess you're probably going to lead into this, but I ended up going to Trine because my one buddy from my junior team in Worcester was playing there. So uh, played there for my fifth or my fourth year, but my fifth year, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. So like what was that like fifth year like for you at Trine and just like it's your last year of college hockey before you go into the FPHL. So like what was that last year like for you?
Yeah, it was a good mix of fun with some work. Like obviously going into it, I was like, okay, I knew and Trines are they like the year that I was at AU, Club Trine was really good. And like I've talked to my buddy all the time and I ended up like I said, looking into like some master's programs around and my one buddy at Trine was like, yeah, we just need some goaltending. We got a senior leaving. I think Daniel's leaving. But they had a really solid team the year prior. So I'm like, okay, I check into the master's program. It's like the most economical one I could find in terms of like a 1 year, 3 semester like program to do online. And obviously doing so made me a student of them so I could play hockey for them. So uh, I did all that, got on the team, just had a really good time. Like I said, it was kind of a mix of like fun with like taking it serious. Like we took it seriously. Like we're a serious club team. Like school pays for everything. Um, so that was really nice. It wasn't really a big difference from going from NCAA at AU to club at Shrine just because don't pay for anything out of pocket. Everything's taken care of, own locker room, rink's sick. So yeah, that made the transition really easy. Just like I said, going in as my last year of hockey, like obviously I want to try hard. I want to put in the effort because I want to have a good season for my last season. But same time, it was kind of like we had some good roommates that we just like to have fun. So uh, yeah, let's put it that way.
Yeah, just you just want to go out there, have fun, put up a good year and see where it goes from there. But I'm
Yeah,
sure you played some in some great buildings throughout those last couple years. Like, where are some of those favorite barns that you played in?
yeah, we played. Let's see, we played in Liberty, which was cool. Unfortunately, it was like a morning game, which sucked because no one was there. But or at least not many people were there. But it was cool. We were playing. We were actually in one of their showcases. So we played then at the showcase, but we also played UMass, who ended up winning the Natty title. Um, Still a game that haunts everyone on our team, especially me. We were up 4-1 with like 5 minutes left and ended up losing it overtime. Just had an absolute dismantling of our team. Just self-inflicted shit with a blown call by the ref where like basically I was being held backwards against the post by an opposing guy, and the ref just looked a blind eye and goal would go in. Like just shit that was like it just happens. It's club hockey. Like refs
Yeah.
don't see everything or whatever. So, but like I said, we took the natty champs to overtime, so we feel pretty good about that. And honestly, we should have probably taken that game too. We had a hell of a first semester. I think we finished. I think first semester we were 12-4, something like that, something stupid. Ranked, we were neck and neck with like Lindenwood in the Central Division, 1 and 2 the entire first semester. Second semester, we had a ton of injury problems. Wheels kind of fell off. We could never gain that traction back. And we had a tough schedule too, second half. Like I said, we had injury problems. We couldn't get that traction going and went into regionals, like obviously knowing what we can do. Like we're a good team, but just the momentum's not there for us at
Yeah.
all, which sucked. But like I said, super fun group of guys, super fun team. It's a fun little town to be in. Like Angola, I don't know how many people live there. It's not many. We got we got 2 bars you can go to. One you can smoke in. The other one's basically a club. So really fun, but super small town. So it was nice to just be able to just do that for like 1 year and then move on with it. Just because I mean, AU is small too, but it's whereas you're a suburb of Chicago versus in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. Like I said, love the city. It was awesome, but it
Yeah.
was nice to just do it 1 year. Like, okay, cool. I got my taste of a different school. It was fun. I'm out of here. Let's go work. Or in that case, let's go play some pro. So
Yeah. So like, what were some of your favorite memories that last year? Because you had a fun time that last year. Like, what are some of your favorite memories from your college hockey experience?
yeah, I feel like everyone just it's just always like hanging out with the guys. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll remember some things about like the games or maybe some weird shit at practice, but a lot of most of your memories are always like in your own house or like your teammates' houses, just hanging out with everybody, which stays true with me. Like we had some really good times, both places, some great memories. Just yeah, and road trips too. Road trips are always a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always just the shenanigans that you get into as a team. That's the best part.
Yeah. The road trips, the talks in the room, like the hanging out at the houses, like there's nothing better. Like obviously we all love the game and everything, but there's nothing better than just being with the boys and just enjoying a good time with them and
Yeah,
having great stories after.
no doubt.
Yeah, but then after your last year at Trine, you went pro and first started off at the Binghamton Black Bears free agent camp in the FPHL that's where I met you and a lot of the other
Yep.
boys. So like what and like you actually made that cut. So like what was your first pro experience like at that free agent camp and then finally finding your way to Elmira and getting in a couple games?
Yeah, it was fun to get your feet or get my feet wet. Like I said, I'd never gone to anything like that before. Never gone to that or pro free agent camp, so I didn't know what to expect. But I just knew going in where I had played, like and like what I could do. I felt pretty confident in myself. It wasn't really. I feel like at past tryouts, like especially in juniors, it was always getting so worked up about like, oh, this guy played this team, this guy played on this team, this guy had this save percentage, this guy had this save percentage. It's like you're trying to like be better than everyone there. And then
Yeah.
like I said, a couple of years later, like haven't done that for a while. I've been in college for the past 4 years, so kind of just matured in that aspect and got to that tryout. As that was my first tryout I've basically ever had since juniors, like 4 years later. So just went in with like a totally different mentality of just like I know where I played, I know where I've been, like I know what it takes to be good. Let's just do this shit. So this is kind of what I went in with. Like I said, just a little bit. Just it's always a change of pace going from summer private goalie training to like a camp like that. But it was I was I don't know, a couple of good bounces here and there, but had a good start, which kind of propelled the confidence to keep going all weekend. And like you said, we had a really good group of like goalies here that we were all super tight with, which made it super easy too.
Yeah, made it super easy to go to the rink every day and battle against each other. Like,
Yeah,
like we're all looking for a spot, but we're all pushing each other too to be better, and like that's what you want. And it was a great group to have for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
What were some of the things that you learned, like just getting your feet in the door pro, and then you made the cut, and then I believe you got traded to the Elmira River Sharks before the season started. So like that's what a great way to get into the Fed to get traded.
Yeah, so that was the pro wake up call right there. Didn't even step foot in New York yet, and already got traded. So, but I think it worked out for the best. I mean, like I knew going into Binghamton, I was gonna be competing against at least 4 or 5 other goalies. Said I had confidence like my own abilities, but at the same time, you never know what the coach is thinking.
Yeah,
So it's almost better just to get that trade like right away, get it out of the way. Going to Elmira where like they needed a guy, or at least they needed some help in terms of like just training camp. I think that's basically what I got brought in as is training camp help. And then, like I said, I got there, played my bag off. I thought I did pretty well. I mean, and then I mean, I think it was like either day one or day two. Uh, Jerry, the head coach, I was just walking past him. He's like, "Binghamton's missing out, dude." He's like, "I don't know what the fuck they gave you to me." And I'm like, "Appreciate it." So that was just kind of cool to hear like that kind of thing. So, like I said, like the Rossmiths and the Fed make it tough to stick. Like I was
yeah,
going up against two-year vets, and then me being like a rookie. Like, yeah, I can play as good as I can, but like they're also two good goalies that I was going up against, and uh, Roddy and Kaz. So
yeah,
like we were super good. Like all three of us, we loved hanging out together. We were a good little goalie tandem there for the that's it that we were all there together. Uh, Well, like I said, they're two good goalies too that had pro experience. So it's like you take the two guys that have proven themselves, you take the rookie that looks promising but hasn't done it yet. So and didn't end up sticking around for more than like a month or so. But like I said, I thought I did well. Like we went to Watertown, played an exhibition. We each got a period. I went 12 for 12 in the third, which made me just feel good about my game. Um, and kept going for I guess there 2 more weeks after that. So yeah, it was fun. Like I said, got my feet wet, got my taste, and then I knew like when I did unfortunately get the like talk of hey, we can't keep you around. We got to go down to whatever 18 skaters and 2 goalies. We can't keep you, but we'll keep you in like the loop if like any injuries happen. Obviously, injuries do happen. So I got the call back in December. You had to come up. Actually, I didn't know how long it was going to last. It's kind of a weird time. It was a really strange time of like the weekend prior to like almost going back for like winter break. Obviously in pro, the break's so much shorter. It's like a day or two
yeah,
and you're back, but still some guys that are close enough to go back home. So it's one of those things that like Jerry's like, we'll see what happens after this. So I was up there for a week, just back to the daily grind of pro workouts and uh practice, which was fun. Like I said, it was nice to get back into it. I missed it. It's also tough to step back into that when I had just been playing like once a week from end of October through December, and then right back into like the like pro atmosphere. So a little tough adjustment, but it was fun. Got in another game. We were just defeated by injuries. I think we were to the point where we were just calling local guys that had pro experience to come fill in because we were so like we went in with to the weekend with 6 injuries or something stupid. Or like injuries where they can't play or they're not even like traveling. And then
yeah,
so we had like short bodies. And then I think in the first game we ended up losing 2 or 3 also. So like by game two it was just a shit like when that happens. I mean you're the lowest level of pro, you're single A. So like where are you pulling from? Everyone else can pull from you, but where can you pull from? So
yeah.
but it was fun. Like I said, it was a good time. And that was right around the same time I had just interviewed for the job that I have now. It was like one of those things that was like, I'll keep playing if I don't get this job, but if I get this job, like I can't keep playing. It sucks. I can't pass it up, and kind of worked out just right like that. Like winter break happened, and then got the job. And so I was like, well, there's my answer. Nothing I can do about it. But sucks to stop playing. But like you said, got to use that degree that I paid all that money for and got to start life here somewhere.
Yeah, but like at least you got into a game into a regular season games. Like obviously you had the preseason game where
Yeah.
you felt good about your game, and then you get into a regular season game. So like what was getting into that game like?
I don't, it was fun. It's hard to compare just because like I was already kind of like playing catch up just from not playing for like a month or so, or
Yeah.
at least not playing like consistently. I mean, in hindsight, I probably could have. And I think early on when I went back home, I kept getting like on the ice like twice a week for privates. But then it just becomes a thing of like no injuries happen, month and a half go by, 2 months. You're just like, maybe I can save some money and just take a couple weeks off, and then it becomes a month, and then boom, the call happens naturally, like right away. So,
Yeah.
but no, the game was fun. Like I said, we were, I think, um, you know, I mean, I know I gave up three in the third, which never feels good. It's like you're never, I mean, third period, you're never going to get more than like 10, 15 shots. So giving up three
Yeah.
is never going to feel good regardless. But I felt good about my game. I mean, I went in obviously for sitting all weekend, cold on the bench. So it's been the last game. I think one of my first saves was like, I got blacked out. I got up with the puck in my hand. I was like, all right, made a six save, I guess. This backdoor tip, got my glove back there and did the old flurry windmill.
There we go.
And yeah, I'm like, that's one way to make an entrance, I guess. But didn't last long. We got penalties on penalties, backdoor tap-ins, just shit like that. That was like just one of those games where like that stuff's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
especially me getting right back into it. Like I was still a little bit behind where I wanted to be, so made it a little bit tougher. Like in a perfect world, I stay for the whole fall, get into some games, actually, and be able to show like what I think I can actually do. But like I said, it was still fun to actually get into the game and just be like, hey, you know what, I've done it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you can say you've done it and you played pro and you got a cup of coffee in the Fed. So
Yeah,
you did what you could, and like that's all that matters.
yeah, 100%. Like I said, and that's just like looking back on it, it's like I mean, people can just like say what they want about the Fed, like it's this, it's that, but like it's pro hockey. I don't
Yeah.
really get it. What people deem pro hockey is pro hockey. You're getting paid to play. You're not on a voluntary basis. You're not paying for shit. You're getting free housing. You're getting all this stuff. So like it's as pro as I could think it can be. Obviously, you're not making much, but
Yeah.
it's just the breaks. It's like how much do you love it?
So it's a lot of fun too. Like a lot of good story, a lot of funny stories come out of it, and like
Oh
you're
yeah,
playing pro, like you can't complain. Like it's a blast and it's a good league too.
yeah. No, like I said, I was like well, like there, but then once I got back and then look back on it, I'm like, man, it's a blessing to just be able to do that and play pro and like especially from like where I came from. Like, I mean, there's so many guys that grew up playing AAA and they fizzle out, whether it's before they go to college, whether it's before they go to juniors, whether it's before they go pro, whatever, they fizzle out. They don't end up
Yeah.
like I feel like I mean everyone grows up being a kid like I want to play pro hockey. And
Yeah.
so like that never leaves you. Like everyone at least somewhat wants to do it. Whether you have like the drive to do it or not, whatever, but you kind of you want to. So the fact that I was able to do it, especially for me, like I said earlier, like not really having a real goalie coach till I was 14 to not playing AAA, just playing high school in Ohio where it's good, probably like double A at best, but it's good, but it's not great. And then being able to go there, I was like, can't really complain too much.
Yeah, exactly. You can't take that away from you, and you were a professional hockey player. You can't take that away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have one more question before we wrap things up here. So, do you have any tips for players, for goalies looking to get to that next level, whether it be juniors or high school to juniors, junior to college, college to pro?
Yeah. I say I probably have a lot of tips, but but Honestly, simple one would just be just stick to the basics. Like
Yeah.
everyone, like there's so many ways you can try to think about get somewhere. Like what you got to do to get to XYZ level, X like they get to this team, get to this whatever. Just stick to the basics of just grinding your ass off and master the fundamentals. Like they always say, goalie's got to be the best skater on the team, and I always like believe that. Like my footwork is something that I pride myself on, like just being able to, I don't know, just move as efficiently as possible, whether it be on my knees, on my feet, just as efficiently and as quickly as possible while being in position and being a larger guy. Like that was my biggest thing. I really found out that was like my biggest asset was just if I master that shit, it'll happen. Saves will happen, and then if saves happen, good things happen.
Yeah, exactly. I love that tip. It's just simple and effective and just using everything you have to your advantage to make you the goalie that you are.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, I love that answer. But Ax, thank you again for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time
Yeah,
and
man.
I want to wish you the best of luck with your job and everything in between.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. This was fun, and I'm sure we'll chat here again soon sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.